Getting heated up here has been a frustrating evening here.
Kishimoto. Oh yeah, that's tough.
Lane again sees another opening.
Launching jab and an and one.
Terra C.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the opening press conference for EASL Final Four 2025. A big thank you to all the media members for taking the time to cover this event, and to the players behind me, or soon to be behind me, for being here on such an important day. This press conference officially kicks off championship weekend, where we will crown the undisputed champion of Asian basketball. To begin, I'd like to invite East Asia Super League Chief Executive Officer Henry Kerins and Senior Vice President of Melco and Property General Manager of Studio City, Kevin Benning, to come on stage. Now, can all the players also come on stage? Thank you, guys. At this time, we'll ask Henry to release an opening statement. After that, Kevin will go, and then the players will give opening statements. Henry, go ahead. Yes.
Well, first, hello everyone, and welcome to ESL Final Four 2025. We're very grateful for all of you for coming, media from around the world, media from all of our sport markets, to celebrate something really special. This is it. This is the biggest stage. Four of Asia's biggest clubs have fought it out over 6-month home and away group stage, chasing one goal, and that's to be crowned Asia's champion. So for ESL, this season has been a statement. Last year, we made history with the inaugural home and away, with the first ever Final Four, and now we've taken it to another level, expanding to 10 teams, including Hong Kong and Macau. We had 34 must-watch games over this season, broadcasting over 23 of the largest broadcast partners across Asia and across the world, reaching 1.2 billion fans. So alongside me today are representatives from the Taoyuan team, the New Taipei King, Ryukyu Golden Kings, and the Hiroshima Dragonflies. These are the teams that have not only dominated in their domestic leagues and emerged as their champions, but also dominated in the home and away season for ESL. So, as you know, they've proven they are competing at the highest level. They've reached the pinnacle of Asian basketball, and they're here to fight it out for the championship on the ESL Final Four. We're also honored to have He Tianju, the former captain of the Chinese national team, with us as ESL ambassador. He's a former Chinese team player for the New Orleans Pelicans, who played also for Liaoning in ESL's former event here in Macau, and a CBA champion with Liaoning as well. So welcome to He Tianju, and thank you very much for coming. None of this would be possible without the continued support of the Macau government, Allmen Tiuju, Allmen Liuju, and all of our partners here, but in particular, Mr. Kevin Benning and Melco and Studio City Macau. Their vision for sports, for integrated sports within Macau and diversification is unparalleled. They've been a strong partner with us for many, many years, and as you can see from not just the facilities at the hotel, the basketball, but all the peripheral facilities, it's a world-class venue. It's a world-class integrated resort, and we couldn't be more grateful and honored to be partnered with them for this Final Four and this special occasion. So thank you very much, Kevin. What you'll see tonight and in our championship games on the 9th will be basketball on a scale that Asia's never seen. The level of competition will be elite, but but also from the production, from the music, from the delivery, to all of our hundreds of millions of fans across Asia and the world. And this is something that's extremely important to us and we're extremely proud of. So with that, the sport, obviously, as all of you know, is growing extremely fast in the region. We're extremely bullish on the future of Asian basketball, and with that, it deserves the respect and the growth that matches what's happening in the market. And as ESL, we're very proud to be supporting that effort in not only elevating club basketball in Asia, the national teams in basketball in Asia, but the whole ecosystem. So I really want to thank all of you very much for being here and for showing up, particularly all the media. We really look forward to seeing you at the games later, and we really hope to see some good competition and the champion crown soon. So with that, I'll turn it over and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kevin Benning. Now go ahead.
Henry, the EASL team, media friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Studio City. It's our great pleasure to present the highly anticipated EASL Final Four, starting from today through Sunday here at Studio City. As Henry said, this event will see 4 powerhouse teams compete for the top spot in Asia's premier basketball league. I want to say a huge thank you to Henry and the EASL team for putting together this amazing event and for continuing to bring such exciting Asian basketball matchups to Studio City. We are all in for supporting the EASL in its goal to help boost top-tier Asian basketball in both Macau and the Greater Bay Area. We truly appreciate the Sports Bureau for their steadfast support in developing a lively sports culture here in Macau. The EASL Final Four event is another great step in our mission to boost Macau's tourism by combining tourism and sports. We will continue to work with Macau's government to bring more diverse and always thrilling international sports events to the city, with the aim of supporting the 1+4 strategy for economic diversification and advancing Macau's positioning as a thriving city of sports. I want to congratulate the 4 incredible teams that have battled their way to the finals, and we eagerly anticipate the intense matchups we're going to be seeing this weekend. I also hope that the audiences from around the world will not only witness the best teams in Asia, but also experience the vibrant culture and unique offerings of both Macau and Studio City. So I thank you all today and wish you a great weekend.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce the head coaches representing each of our Final Four teams. Coaches, please stand and give the media a quick wave when your name is called. From the桃园璞园Pilots,預計Kaminos. From the New Taipei Kings, Ryan Martian. From the Hiroshima Dragonflies, Mr. Shogo Asayama. And from the Ryukyu Golden Kings, Mr. Daio Kitani. Thank you, coaches. Now I'd like to introduce the player representatives on stage from left to right. From the桃园璞园Pilots, Lu Junxiang. From the New Taipei Kings, Jeremy Lin, Lin Shuhao. From the Hiroshima Dragonflies, Ryo Yamazaki. And from the Ryukyu Golden Kings, Ryuichi Kishimoto. Gentlemen, please share a brief opening statement. We'll go from left to right. Any statements not in English will be translated to English. Go ahead, Lu Junxiang. Opening statement.
非常期待就是今天晚上要比赛，对，那就是我们已经准备好了，那就是准备好晚上吧。
Really looking forward to the games tonight. We prepared well for this, so can't wait for tonight.
Just thank you for EASL, Studio City, everybody involved. Definitely a level up from last year. We're excited to just play basketball.
こうして最高の場でプレーできることを楽しく誇りに思いますし、今夜戦えることを楽しみにしています。
It's an honor to play on this stage, EASL Final Four, so I'm going to enjoy playing the semi-final.
はい、まずここにいられることをすごく、幸せに思っています。 ベストを尽くして戦っていけたらいいかなと思っています。
I'm really happy to be here. EASL Final Four again, and I'm gonna put everything to this game in front of us and then win this EASL champion.
Thank you to all the players. Now I'd like everyone to gather in front of the stage for a ceremonial photo. Coaches, please join your players on stage. Could we also invite He Tianqu onto the stage? Thank you. Okay, that'll be all for pictures. Thank you. Thank you to the media. So to the media, we will now begin the breakout room portion of this press conference. This is an opportunity for media to ask further questions to each player. In this room, Junxiang, Jeremy Lin, and the head coaches of Taoyuan and New Taipei will be available for Chinese-speaking Hong Kong and Macau media.
日本のメディアの皆様にお知らせです。日本のメディアの皆様は隣のお部屋に移動になります。そちらで日本チームと日本メディアの取材となりますので、ご移動の方お願いいたします。
And like Ryu said, in Salon 7, located behind us, we will facilitate a Q&A session for Ryo Yamazaki, Ryuichi Kishimoto, and the head coaches of Hiroshima and Ryukyu. This breakout session will run until 2:35. Then the players will switch. We will end promptly at 2:45 to allow the players to continue their game day preparations. So to all the media, if you do have a question, please raise your hand and we will bring this mic to you.
Hi, Jeremy. I got a question for you. I'm from South Korean media, OSEN. Good to see you. I think if you got a championship in this tournament, it's gonna be very special because you're playing with your brother Jose right now. So, how much you got confidence right now? So, tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, my career is winding down. I don't have much time left on the court, but I'm still playing. A huge reason is because I get to play with my little brother. So we're just trying to enjoy it. We're not trying to put too much pressure, but just enjoy the game of basketball while we still have it.
If you have a question, please raise your hand.
Coach Ryan, looking at your lineup, you've got three players who are averaging at least 33 minutes. and that's not even including Austin Day and Jeremy. So it looks like you're playing a short rotation. And Sakakini is your only center. You think it's going to be a problem down the stretch, especially if any of you guys are getting into foul trouble, your short rotation and playing small?
Well, you know, the last game that we had a few guys at halftime who said they weren't available for the second half. So that definitely shortened it for us. Sonny allows us to play two different styles. We can play big with him. We can also play small ball with him if we need to. I think being able to play different styles within one game if one isn't working is very valuable. That's been something that I've always tried to champion as a coach. But you know, if we have guys in foul trouble, it's going to be trouble, but we're going to adjust like we always have. So I think our guys have a different level of confidence going into this year's Final Four than we did last year. Last year we didn't know if we could really, you know, play well on this stage, but once we did, you know, it's given us a different confidence this year. So I think no matter what's thrown us, we'll always be able to adapt no matter what happens.
My name is Kazuna Yasuka. Representing Basketball Magazine of Japan. I have a question for Jeremy. This EASL gives you Asian players to flourish, a chance to flourish in this region. Speaking of Asian players, I saw you had a chance to run into Yuki Kawamura at the NBA All-Star game. And I don't know how much you have seen him play, but what's impressed you the most? And is there any like specific qualities that you notice about him?
I mean, I think, you know, everybody's going to talk about his skill, which, you know, as a passer, as a ball handler, as a leader and a shooter, he's phenomenal. I thought what was really cool to see was his mindset. You don't really know as much until you talk to somebody, but talking in depth with him, he even said, like 5 times, like, this is only going to make me stronger. This is only going to make me stronger. But whatever we talk about, he's like, this is only going to make me better. It's going to make me stronger. And he said he went out to Memphis just alone. He didn't want to bring anybody because he needed this time to be better, to be stronger, and to grow as a person. And he didn't want help. He wanted to figure it out on his own. And so I just love his mindset. I really think he's going to make it, you know, and be an NBA player for a few years and have a good career.
Hello, Jeremy. This is Gordon from Hong Kong. Hello, Jeremy. This is Gordon from Hong Kong Sports.net. So your story had inspired lots of Asian players to chasing their dreams to play in high standard basketball game. But this time, you need to defeat them in the Final Four and Finals. So what's the feeling?
Yeah, I mean, there's some really good teams here, and you know, to my right, the Pilots are a very good team. How hard they play, how competitive they are. You know, we got a chance to play against them last season, and honestly, like, whether we represent the P League or TPBL, I think, you know, we're trying to show that both of those leagues have really high quality basketball. They did really well in their group stage, and we did good enough to get into the Final Four as well. And I think for us to be here, you know, we want to show that the P League and TPBL, we have some good basketball players. It's not just me. There's a lot of good basketball being played between the two leagues. And we have, you know, across the way, 2 really, really good opponents. So it'll be a fun time for sure. I think we're all excited.
Hi, Jeremy. This is Thomas from Hong Kong. So for someone like you who played in different leagues in recent history, and you just went back to San Francisco for the NBA All-Star game, where's the difference of developments of different leagues?
I mean, the NBA is unlike any other league. Which is not a problem at all. It's more, they care more about the entertainment value, and so the way that the defense is doing the key, the further 3-point line, the officiating, it's all geared towards playing and scoring at a higher level. You see consistently in the NBA 120 to 150 points, night in, night out. You know, in a lot of leagues overseas, you aren't going to see 120 to 150 points. It just doesn't happen. In the playoffs, you're in the 80s, 90s. And so it's a different style of basketball, you know, and it's a different adjustment. But you know, I'm not gonna say one's better or worse. They're just, it's all basketball. It's all a great product, and I love the physicality. I love the defensive mindset that is being played overseas. At the same time, that the talent in the NBA is just, I mean, the offensive talent, the moves that these dudes are doing. You see 7'3", 7'5", 7, or no, maybe not 7'5", but 7'3", 7', 6'10" guys doing what guards should be doing. It's incredible.
Hello, this is Alvin at Basketball Camp Hong Kong. This is the open questions for both like coach and players. In this EASL tournament, there are two Taiwan teams going to the Final Fours. So how would you see it would benefit for the Taiwan team to, you know, to perform on international platforms, and how it would benefit the Taiwan culture to further develop the basketball cultures like in Taiwan and international wise?
好，这个问题的话，其实是给两队同时问，就包括球员跟教练。那问题是，就我们在这个比赛有桃园也有新北，那在这种国际比赛的这种舞台上，你觉得在比完以后呢，对你们两个不同的球队的这种进步的趋势跟发展有没有什么样的一个方向？你可以分享一下你们的看法吗？
对我们球队其实是有很大的帮助，因为我们的球队比较年轻，经验比较没有那么多，所以我觉得在第一次打这种有国际级的那个联赛，其实对我们球队都是很大的帮助，然后也很明显看到我们球队都有很明显的进步。
I think that I arrived to Taiwan 4 years ago. I saw how the competition grow. The level of the imports is higher. This is giving to the local players, especially players like my players, like 26, 27 years old, the experience of compete against better players. Always this is good. And for us, being on an international competition, have a chance to play against Korean or Japanese team, is exactly the same. It's impossible to develop on this life if you don't have anyone to compete against them. And all the Taiwanese teams right now, we are having this, and I think that is the biggest step that the Taiwan basketball is doing, not only with this, even with the level of the local league that is growing and growing.
You know, I think in general, when you talk to people in the basketball community, Taiwan has been seen as lower level when you're talking about levels of basketball compared to Japan, compared to Korea. But I think the investment in basketball by people in the community, being able to, you know, bring higher level players into Taiwan, higher level coaches, being able to grow the game, and now being able to put us on this stage against some of these international teams and be able to win against some of these teams, you know, it started to elevate the game a little bit more. It's put Taiwan on the map a little bit more. Obviously, you see internationally, you know, they had a great win against the Philippines here recently. You know, it's not to talk up or down to any team, but I think Taiwan has been starting to get a little bit more respect recently, and it's nice being able to get a few wins here against some of these high-level teams that have been respected for so long.
Yeah, I agree with everything that was said before. I mean, I think when EASL started, there was a lot of, you know, what I heard is there was some debate on whether to include, you know, teams from the Taiwan League. Just unsure if they would be able to keep up, unsure if they would be able to, you know, withstand the competition, and knowing that, you know, whether it's, you know, FIBA tournaments or Jones Cup or whatever, seeing, oh, like, oftentimes there's a 30 to 40 point disparity, and then in the EASL, the first 2 seasons, you know, the team, the P League team, you know, won 1 game over 2 seasons. So you see how the growth from the beginning of the league to the first couple of years to now, we have 2 teams representing the Final Four. I mean, Dream Shang is a hell of a player. I mean, if you guys are watching basketball and if you see the Pilots, they're playing great basketball. And on our side as well, we have some really, really talented players. So hopefully people can appreciate the basketball that's being brought.
想要问一下俊祥，因为其实自己在亚洲杯的时候也打出成绩，自己也一直想要在国际赛打出来嘛。那其实东超也是算另外一个国际赛，自己对于两边都是国际赛的想法是什么？你觉得强度上有什么样的差别？还有自己的心态准备上？
其实还没打国际赛的时候，是先打到东超这个联赛队，那其实就已经有弥补到我一些比较没有旅外经验的一些地方。对，那我觉得，东超给我的帮助。其实提升经验其实很大，对。那在面对在亚洲杯的时候，这种国际级比赛，其实我自己就已经比较没有那么胆怯了，对。然后还是一样，就是很勇敢的去学习，对。那其实说会很感谢这两个国际级的经验，然后帮助到我。
Hello, Jamilin. I have a question for you. Have you heard a sentence that brothers work together to win the champion? Do you heard this? 兄弟齐心，其利断金。
哦，还没听过第一次。
对，我翻译的意思就是兄弟齐心，其利夺金。我给你改了一下，And in this game, you and your brother will fight side by side in Macau. Will it remind you of your experience in NBA Las Vegas? Do you remember your?
Yeah, it's very similar to Vegas. You know, they have, you know, the arena in the hotel, and so, you know, that's always an interesting thing. You literally just get out of bed, walk downstairs, play a game, go back upstairs. But we're just trying to have fun. You know, me and Joe came a long ways from the backyard. To playing together. So again, it's something that in our second season we try to remind ourselves like, hey, remember, like, this is a dream come true. Like mom, dad, they would never have thought that we'd be doing this. Even one of us would be doing this, let alone two on the same team. So we try to remind ourselves, and like I said, that's a big reason why I'm still playing basketball is because of him and being able to play alongside him.
这里在提问之前也翻译一下，就刚才 Jeremy 也说到，就是等在这边可以跟自己打球，其实每天他们也是要就是也自己说一下，就是其实这个是个梦想成真的一件事情。那这个也是他们为什么现在还是可以一直打球的一个动力。
俊祥你好，我们是台湾媒体 TVBS， 想要请问，因为每次在东超都会准备全英文的赛后感言，这一次你有准备了吗？是夺冠的赛后感言，还是胜利的赛后感言？是全英文准备好了吗？
说实在是还没有准备啊。对，那因为最近比较忙，所以比较少上课。但我觉得也许拿到冠军的话，我可以尝试做一段。
你好，想问一下新北国王队的教练还有林书豪。接下来你们面对的广岛蜻蜓这个3分球命中率是4个队中最高的，请问你们在技战术中会有什么样的限制或者应对措施呢
？Yeah, so this question is for Coach Ryan and Jeremy as well. You know, you guys are obviously facing Hiroshima coming up with one of the highest field percentage. What will you do, and what kind of adjustment will you make to kind of counter that?
I mean, if I said that information would probably be passed along to them. But really, from our side, as Jerry mentioned earlier, we want to play good basketball. We want to enjoy the moment. You know, we were here last year, not sure how we were going to play. And I think here, just the level of confidence for us is very different. So we want to be competitive. We want to have fun. We want to play together. And hopefully all the prep from our players, physically, mentally, and from the coaching side to get us prepared. Give us a good chance against them tonight.
这个对我们来说，其实就是打篮球。那毕竟我们有去年的这个经验，所以今年的话，我们也不管是心理上或者是其他方面也都准备比较好一点。所以当然也是希望我们的所有球队球员都会准备好，打好下一场这场比赛。
So because it's 2:35, the players are now going to switch. So the Japanese players' representatives are now going to come to this Chinese-speaking area. The Chinese Taipei players and coaches are going to go to Salon 7 to talk with the Japanese media. 谢谢大家。
没回答，没回答就看回答吧。
好，现在如果中国媒体有问题给日本的球员，我们这里有翻译者，有油田可以帮你们。Any questions in English are also okay for us to translate. Do we have any questions for the Chinese?
我想请问岸本隆一选手，就是他知道，就是卢俊祥，他其实在东超一直有很好的表现。那今晚交手，他是否就是有什么样的期待？就是他知不知道卢俊祥这位球员，跟对于今晚交手的期待？
岸本選手への質問です。今夜、対戦するタオユンチームの、一番スター、ルー・ジュンシャンという選手はご存知でしょうか。あとは今夜についてそのタオユンチームに対してどんな期待をされていますでしょうか。
はい、チームとしてのスカウティングっていうのは、事前に相手のチームの情報を整理して対策っていうものを練習しているので、そういった意味ではもちろん知っていますし、彼が台湾のリーグでどういった活躍をしているのかっていうのもある程度自分たちは分かった上で、対策をしてきているので、対策をするので、あとは、すごく攻撃的なチームという印象があるので、そこを、自分たちがどうやってディフェンスできるかっていうのは、今日一つポイントかなと思っています。
当然，作为今天晚上的第一场的对手，然后他们对桃园这个本身队伍的话也进行了非常多的分析，然后针对于他们的一些打球的风格，他们也在训练场上做一些相应的调整。当然了，他们球员他们自己的话，在平时的时候也经常也反复的看了他们桃园在霹雳本地比赛的一些很多录像，然后的话针对，当然他也知道卢俊祥他在本身的一个打法上的话有非常有侵略性，包括整个球队的话，他的侵略性也非常强，所以的话，今晚比赛的一个重点就是的话，我们是怎么能够遏制他们的那个进攻。
As basketball talent in Japan kind of grows, what advice do you have for young, rising Japanese talent across the world?
みんなへの質問です。最近はその日本のバスケは結構日本で流行っているので、しかも若者たちはその日本、バスケへの趣味が、どんどん上がっているのと思います。それに対してはどう思いますか？みんなへの質問です。
そうですね。まずこの日本のバスケットがリーグ時代があった中で、B リーグができたっていうのが一つのこの今日本のバスケットが注目されて、子どもたちがそれを見てプレーになりたいっていうふうに、なってきていることが一番かなっていうふうに思ってるんで、今本当にそれを見た若い世代、中学校高校世代にすごくやっぱタレントのある選手っていうのは出始めてるんで、そういった意味でも本当 B リーグ発展していって日本代表が強くなっていくっていうのが、今後も必要なプロセスになっていくのかなというふうに思っています。
Because the B League's done so well recently, obviously there's going to be more interest in the sport. But yeah, that's what they're really proud of, is that it's not coming from outside. Of course, you have players like Karmer and stuff like that in the NBA. But because the B League itself is doing so well, they're extremely excited to see the rise of love for basketball within Japan.
This is for Hiroshima. I'll speak in English. I noticed that in Hiroshima's 5 wins in the EASL, they've allowed their opponents an average of only 74 points a game. But New Taipei, which is the team that they're facing, in their 4 wins in the EASL, they've averaged 105.8 points. So is this game between Hiroshima and New Taipei a game between offense versus defense?
広島の、ご質問です。広島はこれまで非常に、グループステージ5勝している中で、相手を点数をすごく抑えるディフェンスのいいチームだというふうに認識しています。一方でニュータイペイは、オフェンスが非常に強いチームで、これまでも、レギュラーシーズンの中で非常に高いスコアを取ってきているゲームもたくさん、行ってきて4勝しているというチームです。で今回の試合に関してはディフェンスの広島対オフェンスのニュータイペイというような予想になるかなと思っているんですが、そのあたりについて教えてください。
はい、もうおっしゃる通りで、まずは、自分たちとしては、ディフェンスからしっかりとこのゲームに入っていきたいというのはいつも通り変わらないと、思ってます。その中で、ニュータイペイキングスさんの、非常にその強力なオフェンスに対してですね、どこかを絞るっていうのはなかなか難しい。これはスタッツ上も含めて、スタートの5人全員がですね、かなり平均的に得点を上げてくるというところ、その辺のところっていうのは本当にいかにチーム全員のこの5人の出てる5人のですね連動性っていうのがかなり必要になってくると思いますので、そういったところっていうのをしっかりと自分たちが出して、本当に経験値としてはですね相手の方が非常に上といいますか、そういったゲーム展開の運びをされると難しい状況になってしまうので、自分たちはしっかりとその、非常に若いチームでもありますので、そういった勢いというものをものにしながら、戦っていけたらいいなとそういうふうに思ってます。
So it's really difficult for us to focus on one point or one player, in a certain player, because the average level of the offense of the opponent team is really well. We understand that. So what we are doing is just to cooperate within the teammates and work, fight as a team. That's what we're going to do.
So we have one more question for today, and that is from Korean media.
Yes. Question to the head coach of Ryukyu Gonki's, Daioke Tani-san. Taiwan has big men who has a playing style, different playing style compared to the Ryukyu. What kind of game plan do you have play against Taiwan?
琉球今夜の試合に対してどのようなゲームプランで、挑もうとされているか教えてください。
はい、プランを、一つでやってしまうと失敗したときになかなか取り返しつかなくなるので、台湾さんも、台湾のビッグマンが出て、でインポートプレーヤー2人出たり、インポートプレーヤー2人の時間帯もありますし、そういった時間の時に、どういうマッチアップをするかっていうところは、考えながら40分間考えながら、戦いたいなというふうに思いますし、ただやられてるばかりじゃなくてしっかり相手の、ウィークポイントをつきたいなというふうには思っているんで、自分たちの良さもあるんで、そういった良さっていうのもしっかり出していけたらいいなと思ってます。
So, the Taipei has really good important players. There are two big players, the big men. So that will be one of the key points of the matchups. And also, what we are thinking is we are trying to find a weak point of the opponent and try our best to win again.
Thank you all for attending. This wraps up the opening press conference for EASL Final Four 2025. We look forward to seeing you tonight. Thank you. ありがとうございました。